Hey, Tom. Yep, Tom, I'm going to have David pan over here because that piece is side, and we're going to watch it for our own safety as well. It is skidding across the top there, and if that blows our way, Tom, that's a real problem. So just bear with us. I know you guys are going to be watching this too. It's flying. Oh, my God, that piece of... Did you see that, Tom? That is unbelievable. That is a huge piece of metal siding flying in the air right now, and we're going to... Okay, look at it. It's pinned to the side of that garage, and I can tell you, Tom, before the lights went out down there, that the first floor of that parking garage is filled with water. There was a trash can floating in there, and I've been watching the water level on this ramp below us keeps on rising. This is why we are elevated. This is what storm surge can do, and we're just seeing it going up slowly over here. If someone is out on the Barrier Island area as this crashed in, there is no time in some cases to be racing to a higher level, and it may go so high that you don't even have a chance, and this is why officials have been pleading for evacuations. Tom, I have to tell you, we're less than 2 weeks since Helene made landfall, and we now know from the county they have close to, at last check, close to 10,000 people in county shelters here in Sarasota. The county says that is the highest volume of people they have ever had come to a shelter in the history of their evacuations. That echoes what we've been hearing on the ground here from people. Helene changed their perspective on these storms. It was the hardest hit, the mayor told me, compared to others that they've had in this community. And hopefully that inspired more people to get out early enough, because we are now seeing how powerful these winds are gusting. All this rain whipping around, you would not have a chance to be driving through this safely. We know the police are off the roads, and with all that debris out there, this is not a time to be outside, Tom.
Yeah, no, Justin, I'm thinking about those cars we saw driving the wrong way towards the Barrier Islands during the eye of the storm. I hope those cars were able to turn back around and get out. My photographer, George Pujols here is going to move in a little bit so we can keep an eye on some of the debris flying. But I also want to show our viewers the storm surge that you and I are experiencing right now. George, if you can even come a little lower here. We're above sea level at the compound where we're staying here, this hotel and parking garage. And if you pan a little left, you can see that's where the driveway is. Most of the driveway right now is underwater as the water is rising. Jesse, what's that? Say that again.
Well, No, my hat's gone, Tom. I mean, a moment of levity, but at this point, you know, the winds are so powerful, I didn't even have a chance to catch up with that thing to hold it down. So that is what we're dealing with right now. The winds are really thrusting, and obviously, we're in the garage for our safety, right? We've got these walls that can keep us grounded and protected in a way that we wouldn't normally think about because of the concern about all that debris that's out there, Tom. And all of that potentially, I think, might be funneling the wind through here in a way to make it, flying past us more quickly. But we're looking in all directions. We've got our team's eyes in every direction up here because we do not know what is out there. And we heard, the sound of that debris skidding across that blacktop over there really was chilling, Tom.
You know, Jesse, it's interesting. I'm looking at these palm trees that are just behind us, right? They would be to your left if you're looking at the camera. They're getting absolutely shredded right now. And these palm trees are so interesting. You know, They survive these storms because they're perfectly round and their roots get stronger as they bend. But the tops of them, those palm fronds, are completely getting shredded. And it takes a lot of hurricane wind. I'm going to ask George to back up a little bit because we're getting some debris that's kind of flying a little too close for comfort here. Most of it's leaves and stuff like that, but I'm just looking out for people, as you are, Jesse, too. The thing that I can't get over, though, is the storm surge. It is moving fast. It's almost taken over the first floor completely, the first story of that parking garage. And we're just getting started here, right? We have another 1, 2, 3 hours of this type of intensity.
Yeah, and again, Tom, going back to the palm trees for a moment, those are not light, feathery leaves. Those are pretty sturdy and essentially like giant pieces of plywood. And in fact, in Hurricane Helene, when that was making landfall, a tiny piece of debris from one appeared to have hit me, and that actually sent our team back inside to safety. And I can tell you, it's not like getting hit with a leaf off of a typical tree. So the fact that those things are being snapped off and just shredded like you were describing just speaks to the ferocity of this wind. That is not an easy lift.
Jesse, I'm showing the viewers now where we are so they understand that we can stay safe while we report on this massive hurricane that is hitting Sarasota right now. These are concrete walls. We are surrounded by concrete. We're high up. We have cars that are protecting us from the wind shear. I do want to show you another angle of the storm surge here. I'm going to ask our photographer, George, to come down. And, George, just point that camera down if you can. You can see the stop sign down there, hopefully. That stop sign is already halfway covered in water. You can see it right there. And you can actually see the waves. That current is the storm surge that's coming in right now off the bay, and it's coming inland to Sarasota. The interesting thing that we were seeing when we were down there before we had to pull out because it was too dangerous was that the storm surge felt like it was coming from every angle. You were seeing water come in from different avenues, from different streets in different directions, which essentially gives you the sign. It tells you that you're being surrounded by water. It's another reason why we had to come up here. But I got to tell you, the water is rising, I'd say inches in seconds.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.